Welcome to episode 3 of Sheev's Throne Room podcast. I am joined by now our longest running guest, Adrian, as well
Woo!
as two new guests. I got Diego and I got
Hello.
Bear,
Hello.
or William Jones, however he wants to be
No,
called. Let's call him
don't
Bear
fuck
for now because that's just what we call him.
forever.
Yeah.
Don't fucking ever call me the other thing.
William, all right. Bear, if you want to just introduce what your like experience with Star Wars is, just kind of give people the range that you're at.
Yeah, so I'm old, and the first thing that I saw in Star Wars was when they re-released them in the theaters in the 90s. Um, I went to see A New Hope, and then Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi, and then from there, watched the rest of the prequels and in the theaters as well as high school and on, and of course the end of the Skywalker saga. I don't know. I like Star Wars. It's been one of the fondest memories that I've had growing up. Whether that be, you know, some of the first movies that I remember being taken to as a child, or video games like Rogue Squadron, or Rogue Squadron was probably the best one, to
Rogue
be honest
Squadron.
with you, in that era. So yeah, it's kind of my thing. I really enjoy the Star Wars universe. I like my space wizards with laser swords. So
I had like a similar sort of introduction to it because I know we had the VHS tapes in like the 90s and I watched those at home, but I don't have like a memory of Star Wars until going into the theaters to watch Revenge of the Sith.
Hell
I did watch the other ones in theaters, but like my memory isn't like so well formed back then. So like it's that crystal clear picture of the two starfighters. They're just flying and then the camera
with the
pans over
drums
and
going
it's just
boom,
a huge
boom.
ass battle. So that's like the excitement I feel like that generates within me when I think about Star Wars. But I would say like the bulk of my consumption for it has been the movies, and some of the games. I haven't really gotten too much into the extended universe. I have started Clone Wars. I'm on season 5 now. Just started
So,
that one, so that's where I am at in my journey. I'm hitting Rebels next.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like Andres. For those that don't know, Andres on the last episode is Diego's brother. You kind of
Yes.
the past year, you guys kind of gotten the Star Wars bug and gone crazy with Battlefront and stuff like that, and
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
Battlefront to me is I feel like um at the beginning I wasn't into it because I got in Battlefront 2015 I think is when that one came out, and I sort of echoed some of the criticism that came around it where like it launched a bit shallow, but the gameplay I
Solid.
stand by it is some of the most like engaging thing because Dice is really good at building worlds and putting the player, immersing them into that world. So the content was a little shallow, but the gameplay loop to me was very like I got hooked on that one. And then Battlefront 2 dropped, and that one had a campaign. And I like games like that with campaigns just because it's sort of like, yeah, you get used to the engine or whatever, but they're giving you a story which is actually canon, and I'm excited how they're going to tie that into the new shows. And Battlefront 3 getting announced or rumored
Rumored,
is
yeah.
what I'm most excited about for like the news now that although it's still an EA title, they're sort of losing that exclusivity, and I'm hoping that competition is going to make them just feel that fire under their ass, like push out the best
Yeah.
Battlefront 3 title that it can be. And if it's anything like what I'm hearing for Battlefield 6, where it's like 64 versus 64, or
Yo,
it, dude, what I'm hoping for the most
that's a return to
is
form for the Battlefield games too.
ground to space battles because I know they could
Yep.
do that on the PSP. I had like 3 Battlefronts on the PSP, and it did that shit seamless. It was so good. I want that to be brought
Yeah,
back
those
for
were
this gen with this engine, Dice at the helm. Let's do it.
But
remakes of the original Battlefront titles, right? I think.
they're kind of like ports that they
Yeah.
added their own stuff onto. There's a good chunk of them were on PSP. There was like the Battlefront 2, which was just a straight rip of Battlefront 2 for PlayStation 2 and Xbox and stuff like that. But then they did like these weird spin-off ones that were like ground to space, like what Diego was saying and stuff like that. There
Mhm.
was kind of the idea of what the original Battlefront 3 was going to be before, I think, what was that studio called? Pandemic or something like that? The one with the gas mask, yellow gas mask, before they got shut down. Remedy, I think it was. Anyway, doesn't matter. But that was a lot of the prototype went into the PSP games. But hopefully they actually do that in the new one. Speaking of which, that kind of brings us around to today's topic. It turns out we're prophets, and we the last podcast. So like we're 2 for 2 now because the first episode was talking about like, man, they're gonna announce a Boba Fett show, and then like literally like the next day after we recorded it, Boba Fett got announced.
Some insider information or something.
Listen,
we're on a roll.
We're on a roll, man. And then the last episode was like I was talking about like, man, it's when we feel like EA is gonna lose the exclusive rights, and literally like the next week, the Ubisoft gets announced as a Star Wars developer, and we're like, yo.
Yeah, that's wild too because EA wasn't supposed to lose exclusivity until 2023.
Well, they still have it till 2023. Basically, these games won't come out until
developing now for
2023.
release.
Okay.
But they're just announcing them now because they take years to develop, right?
Yeah.
They're
Especially
literally
something as big as what the Ubisoft game is supposed to be.
they put a job posting out 2 days after the Ubisoft announcement for a head writer for the game. So that's about where they're at. They're at the announcement / talent acquisition.
But we don't know anything what this game could be.
They don't even know what this game is.
Dude.
They just know it's an open world game. That's all they know.
Yeah, it's an open world game, and it's done by some of the people that are already on the team are people behind like the Division 2.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Ubisoft can do
shit.
pretty cool open world stuff.
Sort of like, you know what that makes me think of actually? Fuck, what was that? What was that called? Like the Commando Squad game?
Republic Commando. There's been a rumor for that one to come back.
Yeah.
If
dude,
they
what if
did
that
in
no,
the
never
style
mind.
of
That's not-
Division, I think that'd be pretty cool.
I was like, what if that's the open world game? But no, I feel
have
like
a
they're
feeling
already working on it.
it's going to be a smuggler type game set in the High Republic. That's my prediction. It's gonna be your smuggler, not gonna be a Jedi, but that's like how they're gonna do like the weapons and stuff like that. Because if it's like if it's the team that's doing the Division, then they're not gonna want to play with their gun gameplay more than they are gonna want to play with their.
Yeah, which is something that I definitely want. That's definitely something that I want to see. As much as I know it's as much as an unpopular opinion is around here that I'm not really a big fan of the gameplay in Shadows of the Empire. I liked the story in the game a whole lot, and the idea that you're like another character outside of like the Jedi in the world is or in the universe in general is exciting to me. So
Yeah,
hopefully.
I'm excited for more creative people to get their hands on it. That's what I'm excited about. I think EA did fine, but they really only produced, what is it, 3 games? 4 games?
Only 3 titles. I can
2
only think of Fallen Order and 2 Battlefronts.
And Squadrons.
And Squadrons, you're right. I forgot about that one. I
And
wish
then-
it was a little more fleshed out, but
I
that
wish there
game
was more
is
content
so
for
good.
that, but
Yeah,
it
me
is
too.
fun.
Yeah, the mechanics in the game is fun.
As
I
a
mean,
sort
they
of
did-
proof, I
didn't
think
it-
that's a good stepping stone.
Yeah. I mean,
Did it come out to be like $40?
It was only $40. They announced it like literally at whatever E3 was this past year. During that season of game announcements, they were like, "Yeah, we got a new Star Wars game. It's coming out in October." And they're like, "Oh,
Why
cool."
was it so cheap? Why do you think
Because it has hardly
Not
any
enough
game modes.
content.
It has
That's what I figured.
it has a campaign that's roughly, I would say, like 7 to 8 hours, and 2 game modes, essentially,
With a handful of maps.
with a handful of maps. Yeah, that were basically remaps of the ones that are used in the campaign, which is fine.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think all the games that EA put out.
But I was agreeing with Bear, where he said like all the different EA titles we've had during that exclusivity deal sort of feel like different parts of one whole, and that would have been a premium gaming experience and Star Wars experience.
To me, it feels like that all of the games that EA released, all 4 of them, kind of feel like parts of a whole. Like if they had found a way to bring them all sew them all together, it would have been a much a better experience for me, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought
Scratches every itch. Pod racing for me. I want to see that come back
From the Nintendo 64.
I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling
Just
you,
in general.
get
Uh,
95.
Criterion, whatever the Need for Speed guys on a pod racing game. I'm all about it.
Well, that would be sick.
bro,
All about it.
Or-
imagine.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, or the guys who made Forza, but it's that's probably not a good idea because Microsoft.
They get to maybe the Forza Horizon team.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Simulation pod racing. That would be crazy.
That would actually be fun. That might be something I'm into, to be honest with you. Like
VR?
building out a whole
Ooh,
pod racing world in a game.
that'd be crazy. And if you could
Yeah.
like customize it as much as you could, some stuff in Need for Speed, that'd be amazing. I
I'd
wouldn't put that
absolutely get that game.
I'd pay
I'll get it. I'm
$80.
gonna get it regardless. I'll get any Star Wars game that comes out, so they don't have to sell me anything. But that does sound cool.
Oh,
I'm sure
speaking
there's
of
a
like
bunch of Flash games that you could do that are weird and unlicensed.
mobile games as well, but you were bringing up like games that are coming soon. Is there any update on a date for Skywalker Saga for Lego?
I believe it's beginning of March. I could check that while we're.
That's
believe-
so soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's legitimately like when they got announced that I think Fallen Order and Skywalker Saga got announced at the same E3. I was legitimately more excited about the Legos game, and I love
It
Fallen
is.
Order, but like I was like, EA hasn't really blew me away with their Star Wars games lately. But man, Lego Star Wars games slap.
I mean, Lego games in general are generally like even the ones that are like lower tier Lego games generally are actually still pretty fucking good. And the
think-
Star Wars ones are like top tier.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I feel like we touched about this a bit. Like, there hasn't been one bad Lego game.
that's not true.
Nah, I think they've all been
That's-
generally
They
pretty
haven't
damn
all
good.
been as high. Yeah.
Lego
Maybe
the
not
Lego
as good
Movie
as all
2.
the other ones.
The Lego Movie 2 was really bad.
Oh,
You know
really
I hate
bad.
that one.
Dude.
It was so bad.
But in general, I mean, they've all been like.
Well,
pretty
the
good
Marvel ones are a
games.
blast because you like get a city to fly around in and feel you actually, as dumb as it sounds, like you actually feel like you're a superhero in them. Even though it's like little Lego plastic figures on the screen, it legitimately felt cool. And the Force Awakens Lego game was awesome, legitimately awesome. And
I always meant to skip over that one because I would assume that they would do one for the latest trilogy altogether,
uh-huh.
but I got shafted. And I don't know if I should get it now or if that's going to be straight ported into the Skywalker saga. I don't know.
They didn't say what they said every single map is new, even Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
So it's still a
so we're
separate game.
getting there. Yeah.
They announced how many characters are in the game though.
Oh, no.
The 800 minifigures to collect.
Jesus
She-
Christ.
Like they went balls to the wall on this thing. Like they said they started out with 300, and that would still have been the most characters that ever been in a Lego game. But they're like, now this is Star Wars. We've got to go all out. At 300 was like already more than any Lego title. Now there's 800, and that's not including the DLC that they're adding. They already
What? Fuck.
Are they gonna have
Yo,
are
what
they gonna
the
have the
fuck?
titty milk monster?
maybe honestly
is
maybe.
that?
From
What is
The
the
Wampa
titty
is
milk
one of them.
monster?
The Wampa is one of the characters. So I mean, like literally, Yaddle is a character. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my god.
Like we're gonna, yeah,
Yo, I'm holding out for Savage Opress.
he's
Homie
probably
is
in there.
dope.
He's probably
I
in. They
want- he's-
Mando is gonna be one of the DLC characters. Their Mando pack
Makes sense.
with the Razor Crest and everything like that.
Exciting.
Rogue One is gonna be in there too. So Solo. I believe they're doing some Clone Wars stuff. That was another Star Wars game that actually was really good. Was the Clone Wars game?
Lego
not
Clone
play
Wars or
Yeah, the
like
Lego
Clone Wars?
Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars. It was actually really good. They
That
had
one was really good.
they did the ground battles really fun.
Kind of reminded me of like a Galactic Conquest.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because it kind of became like an RTS uh, hybrid with the game. Like it introduced mechanics that I haven't seen before or since in a Lego game. And it just like points to the scale of what they can do nowadays. Like all those moving pieces that are technically like either allies or bots. You know, they're bots, but they're like enemies and they're shooting at you. I hope that they can bring some of that into the new ones and just make it seem more epic than any Lego game has been before.
I agree. What do you guys
Oh,
what are you guys' hopes for the by the way, this was kind of like part two of gaming because of the announcement last week with EA losing the exclusive rights. Not even losing because they're still going to be making games. It's just opening up the
Yeah.
the license. But what are your guys' hopes that we get? Like, is there something in there, a studio that you want to do a game?
Yeah, I want oh sorry, I don't mean to
No,
cut in
go ahead.
there.
No, go
But
ahead.
I want another store adventure game, and uh I want it to be done by Double Fine,
Mm,
like
I
that
the
think
sounds sweet.
old school LucasArts games.
ooh,
So
Like a point and click kind of thing, or
yeah, 100%.
nice.
I think I would wish for a more idealistic version than what would probably result if Rockstar took something like Red Dead out of someone like Boba to sort of bridge the gap from where I mean he has a show, so that they're going to explore that anyway, but some kind of character driven
Him walking across
narrative.
Tatooine, as he says.
Yeah. That would be something cool to see. I mean, I would prefer something from Rockstar, something like Red Dead over something like GTA. To me,
Same.
that yeah,
I enjoy Red Dead way more than I do GTA. GTA to me
it
is
was
just
more
like
rewarding.
it's
Yeah,
just cocaine, literally. Red Dead is like you're getting punched in the face and throat all the time with emotions, and it's like legitimately like a piece of art. I wouldn't consider GTA that same caliber. It's literally just like candy and injecting heroin into your veins.
but which one was more successful?
Oh, GTA 100% because
For
of GTA
sure.
Online. But heroin's addicting. That's basically what.
To you.
The Red Dead Online is like $5 on the Steam store right now.
There's a
Ooh.
reason for that. There's no
Oh,
support
I
for
know.
it. They don't
Something
support
to
it at
do
all.
online.
I know
Yeah.
it makes me want to play it though.
Which sucks, but it's like I feel like it'd be a lot of fun with the squad.
What do you guys think about the Indiana Jones announcement? Oh, it's
Huh?
kind of Star Wars
Very
adjacent.
excited about that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't hear about
I'm
this.
excited about that
So
too.
Machine Games, the guys that did Wolfenstein, Adrian, are
Oh,
doing an
okay.
Indiana
Ooh,
Jones game.
Oh
ooh,
shit.
So
that's
yeah,
different.
Yeah, I mean,
That is different, dude.
I think the most exciting thing is the fact that they're reviving Lucasfilm Games. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like LucasArts has kind of been rebranded into LucasArts Games, or
yeah,
Lucas Games, whatever, Lucasfilms Games. It's a
yeah,
really confusing title, but they're more of a production company over
yeah.
a actual like
Studio.
studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, which I think is
they're
way
not a
better,
studio. Yeah,
way better.
yeah, exactly, because they're not going to be able to get the same talent that they had in their heyday.
Mm.
Uh,
And they
as
have
far
so
as
much
development
going
goes.
on with Disney Plus and stuff like that. I don't think they want to. There's so much good talent out there, and everybody and their mom wants to work on Star Wars, especially in the gaming world. So I mean, just give it to
Yeah.
the people that legitimately want to work on it, and rather than hiring in-house people. As
Yeah, I
cool as
mean,
that would be, I think it's just better for Star Wars as a whole, getting as more creative people you can on it,
yeah, I
and that
mean,
Another
goes
look,
for any
thing is
industry.
that it
look
avoids
at the
like too many cooks in the kitchen as well,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
want to have too many hands stirring that pot. Just give one person a vision,
Yeah.
and let's explore that.
Oh, you mean like the end of the Skywalker saga, the last three movies? Huh?
So
Too
I
many
was
cooks in
actually
the
going to
kitchen.
bring this up.
Way too many.
I was actually going to bring this up a little bit. We can talk about that a little bit with I want to talk about with High Republic. So apparently they have the whole High Republic arc planned out to the end. They know the
Wow.
story.
Thank
That's so
God.
exciting.
Do they
Like
have
Learn
legit,
their
the
lesson.
they're
releases
like
for it?
they Charles Soule was doing an interview. He's the one the writers he did the first book here. He was asked is like, oh, do you guys have like a plan or is like only per phase? He's like, oh no, we have everything planned out till the end. There's a wiggle room for to zig and zag as we need to, but we have the whole like general arc planned out. I'm
That's
like,
good to
that
hear.
is the best thing I've ever heard because that's not what the Skywalker saga was. It was basically let's make a trilogy, but everybody have their own vision.
Yeah, and
Yikes.
that's obviously that obviously was an issue.
Yeah,
Um, I fully believe like I liked I liked it because I like Star Wars and I come in to every Star Wars movie like, hey, I'm here to have fun. like watching it. I'm not here for like, you know, a Godfather movie or
Yeah.
something of the like high art. I'm here to recapture the feelings that I had as a child. And I think a lot of those movies did that pretty well, to be honest.
I would
with
say
you.
as individual movies, they're great. I wouldn't say as a
Yeah.
trilogy is not
No.
the best.
I agree with you 100%.
Last Jedi is like legitimately a good film. It's just the shots, that everything is legitimately a good film. But as a trilogy, it just kind of was weird.
Yeah, it because they basically fought each other with
hmm
with like the way they wanted to take the story,
Where
which
they
is fine. I
passed
think
the baton.
I think it would have I think it would have been fine had either of the directors slash writers been or main writers, whatever you want to call them, would have been in charge of all three movies
Yeah.
throughout the entire trilogy.
Consistency.
Yeah,
Or
the consistency would have made it.
or get the three directors together, be like, all right, what's your guys' plan? Let's collaborate a little bit, because that's what
Yeah.
they're doing with High Republic. There's
Yeah.
I believe there's
Smart.
5 writers that are in charge of High Republic: Charles Soule, Justina Ireland, Claudia Gray, Cavan Scott, and Daniel Jose Older. They all they've had this for about they said after Last Jedi is when they first met. So that's how long this thing has been in development.
That's when they knew.
Yeah, it's like,
that's great. That's
And
great.
now they're
because
going to
it's
be
like,
working together for the next 10 years
yeah,
or 20. Who knows?
well, and it's
And
already showing fruit for it though. Like
Yeah,
legit, it's Light of the Jedi was top of the New York Times best selling list. So I mean, it's obviously working, and I mean they're doing the same thing with the TV. It looks like with all the Mandalorian tie-ins and all that. So I mean, I think they learned a lesson.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it's clear. Like as long as they have a clear vision of how they're going to achieve their goal, as opposed to because it's if it was only one movie, only one property, only one show or game or anything like that, and it was self-contained. Okay, that's fine. You can just go off on your own. But
Like Rogue One or
the fact of
something.
the matter is, yeah, exactly. But the fact of the matter is these things are all continuities of each other. They're all in the same universe. There needs to be a cohesive plan for their specific storylines. So
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. So I'm kind of just going off of the cuff now. What director and team would you like to see do a movie?
Ooh.
They're allowed to do carte blanche, whatever they want. Who would you
Okay.
want to see?
Hear me out.
I don't like this.
Okay, I have a meme answer and a real answer. I'll soften the blow with the meme answer. I think a really interesting but disgusting take would be something like Wes Anderson, where it
Oh,
has
jeez.
nothing to do.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, but my real answer, Zack Snyder.
Okay.
I think he could do something spectacular, and I mean that in its literal, like a spectacle sense with Star Wars, because that's what it's always been about for me. It's loaded with like themes and philosophy, but the way that it's presented visually and with the score, even more so probably, it's always been about that spectacle, and I think Snyder is really good at creating that sense of grandiosity, where it's
Who
not really about the characters. He's the one doing Justice League. He did Man of Steel, Sucker Punch, Watchmen.
who would you want to compose the music for his movie then?
Ah, if not the OG, my boy Johnny Willie,
Yeah, no, John
I
Williams is
would
off the
like
table.
Johan Johansson to
Ooh,
go have a go.
too bad he's dead.
Oh no, he died! Dude, I was listening to. Oh
He
fuck!
legitimately was a super good composer. He died. I was legitimately sad the day I found out that.
Damn. Oh, well, he would have been good.
I feel bad about laughing about that, but too bad he's dead. You fucker.
I would say the
Okay, that's
composer
what I
from
would.
like Game of Thrones and Westworld.
Oh, Raman
Yeah,
Dajawadi, or however you pronounce that name.
Jawadi.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why I didn't
dude,
say his name.
dude can slap.
I
Yeah,
think he would compose it really good.
Some people are gonna hate me for my answer. Uh, I have two. I got Christopher Nolan,
That's good. I
I
enjoy
was
and
that.
thinking that, but
Alright.
I'm like, nah, I don't want to be a typical
and
person.
then Denis Villeneuve would be my second.
Oh, he'd be amazing. What he's doing with Dune almost feels like what an
Everything he's
audition
touched
for
is
Star
gold.
Wars is.
Everything
Absolutely.
he's touched is gold. Blade Runner, Sicario, Arrival,
I think it was him. Yeah, that
uh,
was really good.
with Hans Zimmer doing the music for either one of them because I just love Hans Zimmer. I know typical white boy answer, but I love my boy.
It is good. It's good. I think him and John run the gamut, and they got everybody against the ropes. Uh, I confuse Johan Johansson with Ludwig Göransson, who did the
Ludwig
Tenet.
Göransson is great. Yeah,
That would
he's got
be
the
an
same vibe.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does Mando, so he's already in.
Oh, damn. Well, there you go. So I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not trying to avoid getting ahead of myself narratively, so I'm just taking it chronologically.
That's fair. Bear, what about you?
This is gonna sound real weird. I want to see like a I want to see an Edgar Wright
Okay,
Oh, okay.
like mini series maybe
okay.
Okay.
based on like maybe like just like an everyday thing instead of like an everyday like normal person as opposed to
Detached from the melodrama. Yeah.
as opposed to like something that's crazy. I want to see what his kind of take in the Star Wars universe would be. I don't really care
Star
what
Wars,
era it is.
like a Star Wars marriage story kind of thing.
Like a Star Wars like okay like
Like what Rogue One could have been if it didn't have to directly tie into A New Hope.
yeah
Something where it
or
explores characters that aren't really
or like
blood.
or like a or like a the college like a good version of the College Humor sketch where where it was just like the two stormtroopers that were like in the Death Star.
Oh, I
A
know what you're
day in the
talking
life,
about.
kind of like a slice of life as a stormtrooper kind
Yeah,
of
like
thing.
a slice of
Yeah.
life as a stormtrooper during the original trilogy
That'd be
in the
funny.
Death Star. Like and just like yeah, I think that would be like I think that would be a wild take.
The thing with Star Wars is that you can do so many different genres inside of it, and it would still
Yeah.
fit. That's what I
Yeah.
love about it. Like you could do a western in one thing, and you could do a samurai film in another. You could do a fighter pilot in another one. It's great.
It'd
Also,
be interesting to see
I kind
people
of just want
touch
to
more
see Simon Pegg
genres.
as like a as a cameo. in the
He's
Star
in
Wars
Force
universe.
Awakens, so
Yeah, no, I know, but I want him to be like
like legitimately
just
Simon Pegg,
like legitimately Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah,
Well,
just
because
like
Edgar Wright also did Baby Driver, so I'm like
yeah, he did.
he could definitely do stuff like
Oh
that.
shit, that'd be fun.
Yeah, he can definitely do like
style. He's dripping
Yeah.
with style.
yeah, exactly. And that's why like he's not it's not like I'm saying I want to see a oh my god, I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. The guy who does all the Will Ferrell movies.
Adam McKay?
Yeah,
No, I'm
or well, he's his writing partner, but or the guy that does all the like the Seth. He did like the Seth Rogen stuff before. I forgot his name.
Oh, Judd, something with a J.
Judd Apatow. Yeah, the Judd Apatow, and not like a Judd Apatow where he's like he just does dumb comedies. Like Edgar Wright can do funny stuff, but also like
Yeah,
actual legitimate movies.
Star Wars Bridesmaids.
Yeah, exactly. Star Wars Bridesmaids. That's what I'm saying.
Dexter Jester is getting married, so. Adrian, what about you?
Did you give us a director?
No, I don't know if Cook said this one, 'cause I forgot. But did you say David Ayer?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I would like
Oh,
to
what
see
is he
him
done?
do one.
Like
Especially
Suicide
after
Squad or Fury? Like
Fury.
Fury.
No,
Okay.
no. Please,
Ooh.
don't do that to me here. That movie doesn't exist. No, but like Fury, like after seeing Fury so many times, I feel
Yeah.
like he could create a pretty interesting one. But I also had another one. Steven Spielberg. Yeah, Steven Spielberg.
That'd be fun. It'd be
If you
It'd be
approach it as a war movie,
wild.
a la Saving Private Ryan,
stop.
that would be phenomenal. That would be different. Hacksaw Ridge Star Wars edition. You
Yeah.
know, like something
Yeah.
like that.
Man,
Another
Close Encounters, Star Wars.
another one
That'd be
I thought
pretty
of was Guy Ritchie with like a smuggler heist movie. I would say
That would be a
a Guy
phenomenal
Ritchie
answer.
smuggler movie with it could be just literally anyone. Like he has access to so many people in terms of talent.
Yeah.
Oh. What kind of stories do you guys want to see in general? Is there like a genre that you would like to see?
Yeah, I want to
That's
see
what
a Clerks remake in the Star Wars universe. That's what I hope
Friday.
Clerks 3 is going to be. He wrote the script already, so.
I kind of like what Bear was saying earlier, where it's like a slice of life thing. Because I think Star Wars in general is heading away from Skywalker, so it can
Yeah, which it
ground
needs to.
itself as something other than Skywalker. Yeah, because it is more, and it just isn't in the movies. But something slice of life, like something Blade Runner, but Star Wars, I think would be very
Yeah.
cool. You could tackle a lot of different high art sort of questions there, and just even those two pairings. You said Denis Villeneuve and what, Hans Zimmer. Those two alone could free reign, blank check for the fucking Star Wars universe. They could do something really special.
So like something more like adventurous and not so much action.
I think that's gonna what Taika Waititi's is gonna be. It's super weird Star Wars, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, anything
It'd
he
be
does, the brain is just different.
it'd be dope to see like something unusual, but in the Star Wars universe for genre than we've normally been seeing.
Yeah, I mean,
Horror.
there's
Here's another
definitely.
one. Sorry.
I think horror would be an interesting take in Star Wars too.
Ooh.
That'd be hard, dude. I
I
don't
don't
think
know how
anybody
hard
wants
it.
it.
I don't know how hard it would be. I mean, in
You just
like
throw
as far
some.
as like
Not hard, but like it'd be like a very risky take.
Yeah, but I think it would
yeah,
pull off. Like
I
you,
would love to
you
see one, dude.
do
Like, don't
some
get me
stuff.
wrong.
You do some stuff with like Sith alchemy or something like that, and there you go.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, did you guys see the movie Brightburn or know of
No,
it?
no, I know what it is. It's like the
Yeah,
inverse Superman, isn't it?
exactly. So like the premise, if for those who don't know, is if Superman chose not to be good but fed
Mm.
into every evil impulse that he had, like but as a kid still, like it's not as an adult, so it kind of deepens that sort of horror element that this kid is gone, he's removed, like no innocence, sociopath. If they did something like that for not necessarily a Sith but a Force user,
Force sensitive kid.
yeah, who just sort of follows every impulse and sort of stops thinking about the responsibility that that sort of gift would be, and just tries to serve himself in every way possible at every opportunity with an ability set like that, I think you could do something interesting there. A
It'd
la
be a lot
Bright.
of fun to see a horror
Yeah.
My one of
something
my
different.
horror pitches was a rebel cruiser or something like that that's hiding Jedi, and then or like on a space station or something like that, and then Vader is slowly hunting them down as
That
like
would be cool.
kind of like a
Always seen on crack.
yeah, basically just a whole movie that's a hallway scene.
honestly, as a kid, that hallway scene, the first time you saw Vader was kind of scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vader is the
So
original like scary guy.
yeah,
He's iconic. Yeah.
absolutely. But
But I feel like you'd have to get like a creepy you have to get like a creepy face to like
You just take off his helmet.
it just looks
honestly,
disgusting, dude.
Yeah,
Not even creepy.
honestly, you could
Burt
do it. You could do
Marshall
it.
head ass over here.
Burton Marshall. Ugh, yee. Honestly, you could do like a like a bounty hunter that has like some crazy
Missions.
like that's smuggling like some kind of crazy like monster and have
Rathgar.
it get loose. Yeah, exactly.
Be like it
Just
sounds like
just
an
like that.
alien movie.
Only actually make it. Well, yeah. I mean,
Ooh.
you're in space, a space
Yeah, I know.
horror, except in the Star Wars universe. You know,
Ridley Scott Star Wars.
Yo,
Yeah, there you
That
go.
could be cool.
yo.
They
That
could
be
they could literally be pulling off Alien or
Event
real.
Horizon.
Oh, you
Fuck,
know
no,
what?
what's the
There's a director that I thought of, James
Annihilation?
Cameron.
There you go.
James Cameron, I think, would make a cool
Oh,
Star Wars
shit.
movie. And
If
now
he
he's
was
in the
doing
Disney
all
family.
the innovation with Avatar, that like, but with Star Wars, that would be
No.
That'd be insane. It would
Fucking
melt people's
hated
faces.
Avatar.
But
Avatar,
technologically,
but technologically,
did
it was
brand new
insane.
things.
And
The way that
technologically,
was
it did not
filmed.
age well.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so you might be right.
Wait, what? Avatar?
I saw
Yeah.
it like 3
Did
years
not
after it
age
came
well.
out, and I was like, this looks hokey as fuck already.
Yeah, it's not. It's. I don't think it's good either.
I just
It's
think the way that it was
Shitty
filmed.
CGI Pocahontas. Come on now.
It's literally Dancing with Wolves in space, but that's
What?
not-
What about the person who directed Annihilation? If he directed one.
who was that?
I still haven't seen the movie, but I know I'm gonna enjoy it. But I feel like
I always get him confused with Denis Villeneuve.
Same,
Alex
exactly.
Garland.
Alex Garland. Yeah,
Yeah. So Ex Machina, 28 Days Later,
Right.
Sunshine.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
Sunshine
any of
was a
his
great
movies.
Yo.
Sunshine would be a good vehicle as Star Wars horror. Something like that would be really good because it's kind of what you were saying, Coke, where it's a good parallel to that. And I think Sunshine, if it was Star Wars, could work very well if like the horror element was force sensitive. I think that could work. So I could see that going. Star Wars horror I had slept on as a concept, but I could see it working now with these parallels.
Honestly,
What about the
Telling you,
dude?
Event Horizon.
What about the dude that did La La Land and First Man?
Oh, that guy.
that would be very like cinematic.
Yeah,
I mean, just get everybody in Hollywood that has directed a movie that's decent to
And
direct
give
honestly,
them all
Star
I am
Wars
fine with
universe,
that.
basically.
Just name everybody.
Right,
It's just
Whiplash,
Yeah.
too.
And after
see-
everybody, and after most people have done one, then we all judge who's done the best.
yeah. See, do a
Not-
Whiplash style movie with the Max Rebo band. We're all
Oh,
about
fuck.
it. It's just the
And
blue
It
elephant
ends with him
thing.
playing the
Not my
cantina
tempo.
right as
you have to get a oh god, what's his name to play the
J.K.
guy.
Simmons is gonna play
Yeah, J.K.
Max Rebo.
Simmons plays
He's gonna play
Max
a
Rebo.
he's gonna play an orange elephant.
Yeah. He's just mean as shit the entire time.
Not my tempo. He just speaks exactly like J.K. Simmons as
It sounds
makeup.
like J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons doesn't change his voice for anything. Not my tempo.
You have Jabba the Hutt, like Uji Dobo Do Dobo, and the subtitles just say "Not my tempo." Oh, I thought it'd be funny.
I think a different sort of genre, I don't think we've touched on, would be interesting. Who Done It, a la Knives Out.
With Ryan Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah, with right, bring him back, have him redeem himself,
Just Clue.
how would you do a Clue on Star Wars? Interesting.
or something like what's the one, the Jacques Poirot or whatever, Murder on the Orient
Orient
Express,
Express, yeah.
Death on the Nile, yeah, something like that, or Sherlock Holmes even. And we're back to
Guy Ritchie.
what's his name? Guy Ritchie, yeah, that could work where it's a sort of investigative in the mind of this super genius who doesn't necessarily have to be force sensitive, but a sort of detective.
And just a detective, like a detective on Coruscant or something like that would be cool.
That would be cool. I
Yeah.
want us to come back to Coruscant in the greater universe of things
Mhm.
because it kind of feels like after the fall of the Jedi, boom, it's over, it's gone.
Well,
And I feel like after the fall of the Jedi, it would become this sort of hypo lawless city planet.
mhm.
And I think that's there. You could open a lot of doors there.
They touched on
Cyberpunk
it.
type shit.
They touch on it in the books a little bit, but it certainly felt like after Disney took over, it kind of was like, all right, I guess
Mhm.
people didn't like the prequel, so we're just going to ignore those for a bit. But then they realized that most of the fan base that they're trying to cater to is the young generation
up
and also the people that grew up with prequels. So
Yeah.
we're slowly starting to see it come back.
I mean, there's just because the movies weren't like the best movies of the and they have that reputation, doesn't mean that the lore is not like definitely
Insanely good.
worth
Yeah.
definitely worth exploring. Like I still love the lore from the prequels, and it was cool
Well, and
seeing.
there's a reason why they
seeing
came
the-
back to Clone
yeah.
Wars and did finish off Clone Wars because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there actually is a demand for this.
Yeah, I mean that was the first thing, or like one of the only things when they did the like full reset that they were like, yeah, this is still part of the canon. We promise, we're finishing this, right?
Well, they didn't even say that we're finishing it. They just said this is part of canon. However, this is done.
Yeah.
And then they did Rebels, and then they did Resistance, which we don't talk about. Resistance was a show. It definitely wasn't for me. It's definitely
It was
catered to
the
like
show.
for like 6-year-olds, which is
You know
fine.
what?
Which is fine.
You know
If I was
you know what
6-year-old, I would love the show.
Yeah, I mean, you know what genre I want to see? I want to see a holiday special.
I honestly, I would love a redo of the holiday special. Did you guys end up watching the newest Lego one that came out this past year?
No.
Oh,
Legitimately a lot of fun.
really? Oh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They did a lot of like dumb jokes in it, but made me laugh.
Holiday specials in general for me aren't really ever like a thing that I like prioritize watching, but like
I do because it's Star Wars.
I mean, well, yeah, you'd mainline everything.
Yeah.
New Star Wars, what? But I've definitely seen the holiday special, and I mean, it's a thing. But
There's
but
literally like the old grandpa has a VR headset and is just getting off on it. It's so weird.
it's
So
such a
weird.
fucking-
And then it just becomes an acid trip.
It literally was.
Face.
I mean,
What is happening?
and even out of all that, we got Boba Fett from that. We got the Mando's weapon, like his disintegration gun or whatever. That's from the holiday special. So I mean, there's stuff in there. Even Chewie's kid, his name Itchy. He's named Itchy in canon.
Hey man, this week apparently Chewbacca's got a fucking family. Let's celebrate Christmas, Star Wars Christmas, Space Jesus.
Life Day. We got Carrie Fisher singing for some reason.
All coked out. I'll just sing, goddamn.
Living her best life.
Mark Hamill with just a metric ton of eyeliner.
Uh, what's I like how George Lucas is like, I want every single tape of that burned.
Buried in the desert next to the ET game.
Yeah.
That they found.
Yeah, they did a documentary on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
found that ET game.
I didn't know there's an ET game.
Yeah, it was an Atari game. It's widely considered the worst game
it's
of all time.
literally the worst game of all
Oh,
time. It's
no.
bad, man.
There's been
Yeah.
bad games.
There was literally an Atari
No,
being like,
like-
we need a movie. It was the first movie tie into a video game that ever happened, and you know how those are usually bad anyway.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, I made the ET game.
Oh
All right,
shit.
I made this game about an alien, and then Steven Spielberg is like, cool, can I buy the rights to it and put my ET game, slap it on it?
And he made it in like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ET game. God, it looks awful.
It was one guy.
It was one guy, and I do not. He's like, he got
He also
ridiculed
made
for.
he also made a really good Atari game.
Oh,
I can't remember
he
whose
was
name right
legit
now.
is legitimately a talented developer.
Yeah.
But he just
That-
was like one of those things. He's like, I did it in 8 weeks, and it's a forever stain on my career.
Yeah. It's bad. Seriously, go find an emulator and play it, and tell me you understand what the fuck is going on in this game, because it makes no goddamn sense.
I don't think I want to, but just by looking at it.
All right. Well, before we end this, do you guys got any predictions to see if we could prophesy the future of Star Wars at this point?
I don't
What
even
is
want
it,
to take a swing because if I'm wrong, then I break the streak.
It's true. It's true.
All right, Cuck, you and me. What's gonna happen then?
All right. So I
Just
think
if we break it, it's okay.
this isn't going to be announced next week or anything like that. But I think, like I said at the beginning, I think the Ubisoft game is going to be obviously it's open world, but it's going to be
Yeah.
not about a Jedi, more of like a smuggler slash soldier kind of thing, set on I don't know if it's going to be multiple planets or just one planet, but in the High Republic. I think it'll be High Republic. It'll be like outposts of the Nile and all that you have to take out. I'm just thinking of the Ubisoft formula and how it would work, because they have a specific way of doing things with like viewpoints and collectibles and outposts and stuff like that. So I think it'll be like that. Third person,
Assassin's Creed Star Wars.
basically, which is fine.
I think it's going to be a complete remake of Shadows of the Empire.
Okay.
I don't. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. That's a fucking joke.
I don't know how to take you. I'm going to be a little cautious with mine, but optimistic in case you do have some kind of insider
I
or
don't.
just special powers.
He does.
Okay, you didn't deny that one. But I would want Battlefront 3 to have ground to space, seamless transition in the game.
That would make me a happy bear.
Yeah. It's
I would
so
think
frustrating.
with what you said, but more with what you said, Cook, but more on the Division side
Mhm.
of that aspect, and then Republic Commando still.
See, like, the composer for the original Republic Commando said he had recently used the theme song for Republic Commandos in a project, and I'm like, it's not Bad Batch, it's not Mando. What are they doing?
It's not much of a prediction, but I think it's happening.
I think it's
I'm
happening.
gonna
They're
predict.
just teasing the fuck out of us.
I'm gonna predict a TikTok exclusive
Okay, let's end
Star
it.
Wars series.
Stop. End it.
Could you imagine?
I would fucking
It's
hate.
Quibbly.
I would give. I would give minute-long episodes of Star Wars.
That's where you're gonna get your slice of lifers right there. Is
Yeah,
some
exactly.
stormtrooper doing like
Just fucking cleaning a latrine.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, this was been a gong show of an episode because of my internet, but I think content was good. Thanks guys for showing up, and
Thanks for having me.
yeah, this is fun.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoyed this really weirdly edited podcast. Have a good one.